record your sets in DJ Pro. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, and I'm going to show you how. There's a lot of reasons why you would want to record your sets in DJ Pro. One of them is for practice. Every time you practice, you should record yourself, record your DJing, and then listen to it later at a later time, because you might be practicing and thinking you're doing terrible, and then you'll listen to it later and you're like, oh, actually that was pretty good. Or the opposite, you could be thinking that you're DJing great and then play it later and be like, oh, that was terrible. So it's definitely a good idea to know how to record your sets for practice, but also if you want to build awareness and grow a following on social media, on Mixcloud, on SoundCloud. And a lot of people have been asking me, how do I record my DJ sets? And people have been asking me, how do I record my sets? Because I only use streaming services. And when you try to hit record with a streaming service, you will get this message. Recording not available while using songs from a streaming service. Please load songs from your local media library to create a recording. So if you guys stay till the end of this video, I will show you guys a hack to get around that so that you could record your sets while you're using streaming services. So let's jump right into this. To record in the app, you go up here and you press record, and it will start a new recording. So now, as long as you don't have anything from a streaming service loaded into a deck, everything that you do will now be recorded. And then once it's recorded, you can name it, new recording, and then you can either share it, you could share it to YouTube, you could share it on your files, you could put it into iMovie, or you could load it, and then it gets loaded into a deck. So now it's in a deck. So what you can do is, one thing is, if you're doing a mix, you want to do like a half-hour mix or 1 hour mix, as long as you're using songs that are on your local device, then it will record that whole set, and then you'll have a recording of your mix. But also, if you want to get more creative with this, you could use this and turn DJ Pro into a into like a production app instead of a DJ app. So what you can do is, by using, let's go over to 2-deck mode. By using the looper, you could record an intro, a build-up, a drop, and then an outro, and then you could essentially have your own, make your own EDM song or your originally produced song inside the DJ Pro app. And I made another video where I went deeper into that, but essentially you would find something that you want to use as you're recording. That doesn't sound too good. So now we're going to hit record. And then you guys could add now we stopped it, and we're going to load it onto a deck. So now we have that loop that we just made onto a deck. So now what you guys could do is you could add some samples to it. So we go over here. So I'm going to use my own.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
So now we have a new recording with the beat and the sample. Hold on. And don't worry about pressing the record and then rushing to start, because you can make up for the lost space by just setting setting a permanent cue point right here. Boom. And then that's the beginning.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
And now you could keep going with this until you have like a 2.5, 3-minute song. You could use your own samples that you made, or you could use the samples that are provided inside of DJ Pro. So don't just think that the record button is there to record your set and make a mix. You could use it to make your own song. You could use it to record beats that you made on the sampler, and then use those as tracks, so that when you want to use the sound you made, you don't have to go here and press number 1, 3, 4 and start it all over again. You could have it saved as a track. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So we're going to go over here, recordings, and this is where all your recordings are. So this is the last one we did. We'll change that one to excited. And now, whenever you want to play that, you're going to have to go over here to the record button to I'm excited. There's no way to load it into a playlist. So just remember that and remember where it's going to be. So now the biggest question that I get asked is, how do I record my DJ sets with streaming music? And the simple answer is you can't. If you have streaming service songs loaded into the deck and you go over here and you press the same record button, it's not going to let you record because you're using streaming service. And it's copyrighted and you can't record with other people's music. So there's a couple of ways around this. Number one is, this is what I did before I learned the new hack. And it was, if you want to make a mashup, because when I first started with this, I was really excited about making mashups. I would find 2 songs, maybe like a rap song or a reggae song, and then put it with a EDM beat and make a mashup with it. And then it wouldn't let me record it through the app. So you know what I did? I just went to iTunes and I bought the 2 songs. It was like $2.50. And then I made a mashup with them, and then I had it saved on my DJ Pro. Now, that is something you can do if you want to just make a mashup. But let's say you want to record your whole mix. Simple solution is you go over here and you hit screen recording. Now, this screen recording is going to capture the screen, what you're doing on the iPad, and it's going to capture perfectly good audio. So you will have good audio, and you'll be able to see what you did. Maybe you saw you did a mistake, and then you could see what you did on the screen when you watch it, and not make that mistake again. And also, if you did something that you really liked, you could see exactly how you did it on what screen, with what knob, and what button. So, but just remember that this is for personal use only, and if you're using copyrighted songs, you upload this to Facebook, to YouTube, to Instagram, it might get taken down, or you won't be able to monetize it because you're using copyrighted music. But if you just use the looper, use songs from the looper, or if you use royalty-free songs, then it's completely fine to make a recording of these songs because you're allowed to use them. So if you're using the Tidal streaming service, you could just go over here and type in royalty-free EDM. And they have all these songs. They're not the best songs in the world, but these are songs that you could record mixes of and upload them to YouTube and not worry about copyright. And you could put them on Facebook and not worry about your mixes getting taken down because you're using copyrighted free music. This is what I do for my examples for you guys. I'll use these royalty-free songs so that I can post these on YouTube. So be creative with the record button. And always with your DJing, think outside the box and think of what else can I do to make it more better and more professional. So if you like learning how to be creative with DJing and DJing on the iPad with DJ Pro and the future of DJing, subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.